we're gonna watch this Poison here that's on TV, daytime TV. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on it.
There's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women, most of them said yes. So why do you think...
I'm just laughing, it's funny. This is going to come up multiple times. But can you imagine if this question was posed in the reverse? Do we need women? And we laughed. They would burn the studio to the ground.
That is.
Because men are useless. I mean, and by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you access.
I swear to fucking God, man. This woman here, at least at the time of this video, is married to a multi-millionaire. First of all, if the guy leaves her tomorrow and finds somebody more beautiful and younger, which is easy, by the way. No disrespect to her, I'm just saying, for somebody who's a multi-millionaire. If he leaves her and finds somebody more beautiful and younger, they would say, oh, men are trash, in another man-bashing segment. Men are useless. Somebody embarrass me like this on TV, leave you that day. Notice the insertion of the gay agenda. And gay men have been reduced to, their values have been reduced to gossipers. Right? Just you're a good gossiper. Nobody gossips like a gay man. That's all you are for. That's all you're for. Look at this dingbat right here.
Guys like gay men, nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men. But with the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like my husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can.
All right, now, remember this. It takes a village of women, she says, to keep him fed and clothed and so on, right? That means someone to cook for him, clean up after him, and so on. He's a multi-millionaire, by the way. Remember this. Which means, if I'm a multi-millionaire, you best believe I'm not cleaning my own toilets. There's no effing way. I'm going to pay somebody to clean my house. Because that time, that 2 hours, I spend at least an hour and a half every week cleaning my bathroom and my floors, sweeping, washing, and so on. Anybody who's a millionaire, they're not doing that themselves. Most of the time, they're hiring somebody to do it for them because they're using that time to make more millions. So, of course, you're going to have a cadre of people to do this for you. But just remember, in her words, the woman's duties of feeding and clothing and cleaning up are important. Bear that in mind.
Yeah, but you guys feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. No, he fixes everything.
It's starving and living.
Wait, by the way, notice what she's doing here. So this happens all the time in workplaces, by the way. Somebody states a derogative opinion and they're trying to draw other people in to agree with them. And if you're not careful, you get dragged into this garbage. And so you might be comfortable in your situation, but by the time you're done, commiserating with others who are miserable, you are no longer comfortable in whatever situation you're in. All right, so here she goes, dragging in this other lady on the right.
His own filth. He can,
Yeah.
But you guys feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. No, he fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the trash and he throws out the recyclables.
All right, so this lady here is recognizing or at least stating what she sees as good value from her husband. You know, he does things around the house, that kind of stuff. She's advocating for her man. This other one here, in between Joy Boehner and the one in the red, already saying no. As you're about to see, they're going to try to tear her down.
Boy, all the man stuff.
So wait a second. I know what you're going to say, but wait. She's really talking about a servant. Let's face it.
No.
It's a handyman she's talking about.
It's a handyman-y.
Oh, it's a handyman with benefits.
We do not have.
Well, but the things that you're describing, you could pay somebody to do that. We're not.
Okay, you could pay somebody to do the handiwork. Remember earlier, the dingbat in the red said that her husband needed a cadre of women to take care of him. Well, you could pay someone to do that too. Let's break this down. A lot of women think if you cook and clean, you're doing some great duty for a man. But if the man, you know, empties the trash, fixes the appliances, you know, changes the electrical outlets and so on, fixes your car, not important. Well, let's see which duties are replaceable. Cooking, cleaning, washing are all maid duties that you can get someone to do for a couple bucks an hour. Worse yet, there's a better chance that every man can cook, clean, and wash for himself than there is a chance that every woman can fix a light socket, fix the car, move an appliance, and put shingles on a roof, and so on and so forth. In other words, one of these duties is, or one of these set of duties is cheaper than the other. One of these people is easier to replace than the other. It's easier to get a maid than it is to get a plumber, which is also generally going to be a man. It's easier to get someone to cook for you or to just order in food than to get an electrician, which is also typically going to be a man, to fix the light, to fix the switch, rewire your house. But no, let's degrade men altogether.
Talking about that, what about the inner life of a man? That's what this is about.
I need my man 3 to 4 times a week. And good for you guys.
I just need my man for sex. Imagine if a man had come on TV and said, I only need my wife 3 to 4 times a week for pleasure. Let that sink in. And they're not ashamed. They're not ashamed. And if their husband leaves them, had this been me, I would probably left. Because he got no respect for me, and it's never coming back. It's never coming back. That happened to me in my relationship before I left. Where the lady I was married to, she thought that her cooking and cleaning was somehow invaluable. She was just a maid. And the things that I did was not valued. So I left. I remember she would always say to anybody who would listen that, what'd you say? All I do is cook and clean. And I feel like all I'm doing now is cook and clean. No, Mark, I would cook and clean sometimes. I would say it was at least 60-40, maybe 70-30 at the least. As I would cook and clean 30% of the time. Right? So she would get some help. I did most of the work, earned most of the money. I always laugh now. Since I left, you know who is doing most of the cooking and cleaning, or all of it? She is. So you had a situation where you get some help to know you're not getting any help. Right? And this is what these women are trying to lull. And this is one of the reasons why women are single and they're quick to divorce. They can easily say, I only need my husband for the bedroom. They don't realize or acknowledge what else men are important for.
rest of the time, I need a wife. Because I've always said
Everyone needs a wife.
No, I tease Vicky, my producer, in the morning. I was like, if you'd like to join Max and I, not in that way, but like Vicky and I could kill it as a household runners. Like we would be laughing, giggling, doing all the things, and Max would be so psyched I was wasting all my words somewhere else anyway. So it would be a perfect combo. And the other day, Caleb said to me, this is my youngest son, he said, Mama, I want a spare mom. And I didn't know what he meant. And he's like, he said, Genevieve has a spare mom. And I realized the parents were divorced.
A nanny?
No, divorced. An extra mom, like two moms. And so I asked him, because at first I was a little wounded. I was like, what am I not doing? You know, and he's like, no, I just think at bedtime, you always have to pay attention to the other kids too. And if we had a spare mom, Dad and you could, then you just get to focus on me. And it was so sweet. He didn't ask for a spare dad.
How dare her.
By the way, he asked for a spare mom. I just think at bedtime, you always have to pay attention to the other kids too. And if we had a spare mom, Dad and you could, then you just get to focus on me. And it was so sweet. He didn't ask for a spare dad, by the way. He asked for a spare mom. I took this
Yeah, let's not miss a chance to beat up on men. She had to point out, he didn't ask for a spare dad, by the way. He asked for a spare mom. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. When I go to the parks with my kid, and I am doing fun stuff with the kid, you know who's out there with the kid? Fathers. Fathers are out there with the kid. I can count on one hand with the hundreds of times I've been to the park with doing outdoor activity. I can count on one hand how many times I've seen a mom with the kid doing something fun. If you think that being a mom is tantamount to tucking the kid in at night, what happens when the kid no longer needs that? What happens to that? Kid gets to 13, 14, doesn't want to hang out with you. What do you think happens after that? Where are they going to get your life lessons from?
Differently in how I prep, because broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like I think in the political moment, the people who are saying what needs to be said in my party, it's all women. The very few men, with the exception of Mike Pence and a few others, are saying what they need to. But in life, like I need my husband. I don't know if I need any other men, but he is irreplaceable.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's
all right, so these two are advocating for their husbands. Get ready for it.
We like our husbands, we just don't need men beyond that.
Wait till you're married 20 years and you'll see how replaceable
The reason
they are.
that women...
Right. When you're married 20 years, so again, they're miserable. And they're basically shitting on these other women's situation. How do they keep this show going? Because you're miserable, because you probably talk too much. Can you imagine the nagging of hearing this voice?
I think
is irreplaceable.
Yeah, I think so.
But that's what I was saying. We like our husbands, we just don't need men beyond that.
Wait till you're married 20 years and you'll see how replaceable
the reason
they are.
that women... I think that the reason women can stay married for as long as they do is because they have a lot of girlfriends.
They have a village.
They have girlfriends. Because I always have to initiate the conversations. He'll step up, but I have to
thought you were going to
start
say
them.
initiate.
Oh, I don't.
I just told you guys, I have 8 girlfriends from Panama here who are girlfriends for 50 years since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, I love that.
And it's that, and they were saying yesterday that they've gone through divorces, they've gone through challenges, and having that.
This is a thing that breaks up marriages, breaks up relationships. Show me your company, I'll show you who you are. If all your friends are miserable and divorced, don't be surprised if you end up just like them. Don't be surprised, because you're going to want to fit in and you don't want to feel left out. It's not a lot of people these days that are comfortable being themselves if it means they're going to be by themselves. You'd rather fit in. So even if it means sabotaging your own comfortable situation, you would do it. A lot of people do it. So most of her friends, she's admitting here, friends are being through divorce and all this stuff. And so she's bitching about her marriage. She's married to a multimillionaire. In my view, should leave her this minute.
Village of women has made it possible.
Well, we
for
are
them.
more collaborative than men. I think there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because
I
women
think we have to make a
because
difference,
women...
differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are
in their own category.
Yeah, but
again, we can't leave out the gay agenda. First of all, let me dispel this bullshit right away about women having stronger relationships than men. There is no man that will walk into an office space or a school classroom and say, I don't like this guy. I don't know why. Doesn't happen. You know who does this? A woman will do this. I don't like her. Just something about her. Doesn't happen. Two women will be friends for 20 years. And one person says something that the other person doesn't like. And they don't talk again for the rest of their lives. Conversely, two men could be friends. Or just met yesterday. And next week, they punch each other in the face. And they sit down up over a beer, talk about it. Yeah, whatever. Don't worry about it, dude. Forget it. It's cool. You should have done that. It's shitty. If you do it again, I'll punch you. But it's fine. And we're going to watch a game next week, and they're friends again. I have friends that we've done egregious things to each other. We talked about it. Who needs to apologize, apologize. And we are still friends today. I still would call them if I need something. I would say that a lot of female interaction is superficial. Have you ever listened to two women talking in the office? Or a bunch of women? Everybody's talking at the same time about 4 different things. And it sounds like they care, but they're just waiting for their turn to share what their own experience is. And they're over talking. I was walking in the park once and I heard what sounded like a cacophony of people. All talking at the same time. About 2 different things. Multiple different things it sounded like. And look back and there are 2 women talking. Both over talking each other. Because you're talking a lot doesn't mean you're interacting with meaning. And so sometimes a lot of conversation doesn't mean you're sharing anything worthwhile sharing. And this is what a lot of women don't get. Sometimes you gotta be quiet. Don't just talk for no reason in relationships. Recently, a woman asked me, what does it take? Basically, what I want with a relationship. I wasn't interested, but she was asking me this question. And I said, what I want is to be quiet sometimes. I want you to be quiet. I don't want to keep having the same nonsense conversations that we're not learning from. Typically, one of the things that men can't take is the nagging and constant just talking just to talk's sake. We look for solutions. If there's no solution, we stop talking about it. We try to fix it. If there's a solution, if there isn't one, we stop talking about it. If there is, we try to fix it. Women will just talk. And that's why they're advocating for, women have more conversations. Yeah, you talk too much sometimes.
Married to gay men, okay?
Oh.
But women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about sports, cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks.
Yeah, we talk about experiences. Your feelings change like the weather. That's why we don't pay attention to it too much. How you feel is not as important as what you do. A woman will talk about her feelings until the sun stops coming up without doing a damn thing to change their lives. Men don't have that luxury. We gotta get stuff done. Okay, so here this woman's about to defend her husband again. Get ready for it.
About his feelings with his.
Okay?
Oh.
But women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about sports, cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings with his.
Maybe he's gay. Next.
I swear to God, man. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. And this encapsulates why we are where we are. I'm not sure if this is a product of society or life imitates art. Whatever it is, this garbage here has to stop.